Oh, hi there. Didn't see you there. Guys, I wanted to talk about something really quick. I'm very disappointed because I'm not really able, or I haven't been able to really make a freaking like edited video in a while, so that's been bothering me. And I didn't finish the Spurs wrap in time for the playoffs, so that bothers me too. But there's something on my mind that I wanted to talk about. And I'm not going to just wait for people to come in here because I already know people got a playback button. And some people are going to see the video later on. So it was something that came across my mind the other day when it came to our Spurs and the type of mentality they have right now, and the mentality they have going into this first game. And it brings me back to, do you remember when Popovich got ejected like 2 games in a row? It felt like he'd been ejected a lot, especially of late. He got ejected, but I think it was 2 games in a row. Second game, he got ejected within like the first 63 minutes or something like that. And I was sitting there like, Popovich, why are you doing this? Why are you getting ejected purposely? It's not like, Pop wasn't trying to get ejected. You could tell some of these games Pop was trying to get ejected. And I was just confused. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? These are games that we need. We don't want to have to play Golden State first round. We don't want to have to do it. And then I thought about it. And if you think about it, the main guy on our team that complains to refs, that gets irritated with refs, might be the most valuable player we have on the team. And what I mean by that is DeMar DeRozan has continuously throughout this entire season been frustrated with refs. Now, I didn't watch DeRozan a lot. Like, everyone knows DeMar DeRozan, but I didn't watch a lot of Toronto games like that. So I didn't know if because he always just seemed kind of chill, low key, and I didn't know if he ever really argued with refs like he did this season. But here's the thing. Now, this stat could have changed, but I remember it was like in the middle of the season, and DeMar DeRozan hasn't really slowed down since the stat came out. But I believe that DeMar DeRozan goes to the basket. He goes to the basket the second most in the league, I believe. So he runs into the basket, runs in the lane, the second most. First, I think, was James Harden. This could have changed, but I'm just saying that this is how ridiculous it is. And James Harden had, I think, 100 more free throw attempts than DeMar DeRozan. I could be wrong, guys. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't come on here and like curse me out about it. But I just know that the number was ridiculous. How many more attempts that somebody like James Harden would get over DeMar DeRozan, who was getting in the paint almost the same amount of time. And he's one of those stars where he gets in the lane and he does not get calls. I think that this was a way for Popovich to use this us against the world mentality, in which he sees what's going on to his stars. He sees how disrespectful the refs are being. And instead of, because usually, you think about it, usually Pop will get onto the players first. Pop has been getting onto some players this season, don't get me wrong. But when they're playing well, especially how the Spurs have been playing, and he sees that the refs aren't really doing them right, he jumps in almost as if he's a player. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, think about it, to see one game DeMar DeRozan saying, this is some bullshit, to the refs, getting in trouble, getting a tech. And then the next game, Popovich is going at a ref, and DeMar DeRozan is holding him back. That says a lot. I think that this team really does have a us against the world mentality. And not only that, all these signs that I'm seeing, it got me a little excited. I mean, when I see Rudy Gay come out, on Instagram and say how, the real season's about to start. And he's talking about how, they had their ups and downs, but it's time to get going now. This is the real season. And one thing about Rudy Gay too, I know I'm going like a little soliloquy here, but one thing about Rudy Gay is that Rudy Gay does a really good job of being consistent in the playoffs, because as soon as he's been in every game that I've seen Rudy Gay in the playoffs for us, because he don't get in the playoffs. His career has been like that. It wasn't his fault. He just haven't been in the playoffs. He was either injured or on a bad team. But Rudy Gay in the playoffs is a totally different Rudy Gay. Last season, if you recall, Rudy Gay was killing. He forced Pop to have to start him in the second game of that Golden State game. So Rudy Gay is the man. I see him coming into this series hot automatically. Not only that, now when I think back, or when I think of the other guy, what's his name? LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge came to Instagram and put that little like black profile picture on there where it's just dark. I didn't understand it. Some people were like, he's probably sad because people did that on Kick. I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest with you. But even seeing that, it gave me the sign of playoff mode. There's something going on with this team, and I know as fans, we look at the matchups, and as fans, we say we can do this. You know, oh, we can get to the Western Conference Finals. Oh, we can do this. We can do this. I guarantee you that Spurs players are looking at the exact same thing. They're seeing this, and they're saying, you know what? We got a shot. And on top of it all, this is the most beautiful thing. This is the best part about us going into this series against the Nuggets, and possibly, if we can get farther, against OKC or Trailblazers. Here's the beautiful thing about it. The beautiful thing about this is that refs aren't going to be able to F us over. They're just not. They're not going to be able to screw us over. And what I mean by that is there is no Houston we're going to have to go through before the Western Conference Finals, in which maybe the NBA might say, you know, this more appealing to the fans. You know, Rockets go against Golden State. We're not going to have any refs, any type of weird stuff going on with us. I really do believe that this is fair game. And once you get to the finals, or if you can get to the Western Conference Finals, because first you got to get there. If you can get to the Western Conference Finals, I think that it's just fair game. I don't think that they're going to sit there and say, you know, if it is the Spurs versus Warriors or something, I don't think that they're going to cheat for the Warriors, because fans don't even want to see the Warriors in there anyway. I don't think refs are going to come out and say, you know, give us a lot of bullcrap calls. I just don't see that happening. And Lord help the NBA if the Toronto Raptors are in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Spurs end up being in the Western Conference Finals, because if anything, it might be on our side. And I'm just saying, it might be on our side. But, you know, we can't look for calls. We can't look for anybody to help us. But I'm just saying that there's been seasons, and this isn't even coming from somebody who thinks that everything is rigged, because some people's like, you know, this sport is rigged, this sport is rigged. I don't necessarily think the NBA is rigged, but it's also a multi-billion-dollar company, and there's been seasons that they kind of screwed us over. So, but in this situation, I really do see us going into a really, really, really good scenario. I mean, Nuggets is probably going to be the hardest task before the Western Conference Finals. I could see this series, a lot of people saying, you know, Spurs in 5 or whatever. Possibly, I don't see it. Honestly, I see Spurs in 6 or 7. I see this being a really tough series, because we just match up so well with them, and they match up very well with us. What's gonna beat them is our veterans and being disciplined. But I say all that to say this. I think that the Spurs have a, you know, us against the world mentality. I think that we're in the best possible scenario. Well, the next best scenario would have been OKC losing. That would have been the best possible scenario, because then we would have had Trailblazers. So let me not front. That probably would have been the best. But we're still in a great situation. We know we can beat the Nuggets. Spurs know they can beat the Nuggets. And yes, the Nuggets are 2-1 over us, but the second win first off, the first win, you know, early in the season, Spurs was weird earlier. And the second win that the Nuggets had over us, Popovich got kicked out in like 2 seconds. So, hold on, I'm gonna park and then I'm gonna see what some of these comments are. Two. You saying we're 2-2? We were 2-2 versus now? I thought we were 2-1. I mean 1-2. 2-1. They were 2. I don't know. All right, let me see. DeMar got dreads now. I saw that. I saw DeMar dreads. Y'all ain't talking about that. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I actually have to get off. I got some work to do. But yeah, I just want to come in and talk about that really quick. And I guess I had like a mini epiphany that's what Popovich was doing, because I've been wondering that for a minute. Like, why was Popovich really purposely getting kicked out of games? Because it's one thing to get kicked out of games, you know, in the middle of a game where he feel like the team needs it. But it seemed like he was trying really hard to get kicked out of games. And I don't know, the only thing I can think of is the fact he was creating more unity and supporting DeMar because he sees what refs do to his player. That's the only thing I can think of. DeMar DeBrayton finna go crazy. All right, y'all. All right, man. Yeah, Brett, have a good one. Game is tomorrow, right? I'm streaming tomorrow. If for some reason I can't, I don't know why I wouldn't be able to, but I'm gonna try. I'm streaming tomorrow. For right now, I'm streaming tomorrow. I might, if I can't for some reason, I'll put it on Twitter and Instagram or something. But no, I'm streaming. It's gonna be a big one. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off.